Hey, DA Wrestling Podcast here with the Raw After Mania review. Oh, well, Cody Rhodes is basically the new face of the company. Drew goes off, is on the fritz now. He's lost his shit. And well, couple debuts happened on this Monday. This is a Raw. Very interesting one. Almost looks like, and we got the draft announcement coming up, starting April 26th.
Yep.
So, first off, Douglas. Have you come down from the WrestleMania weekend?
Not quite. And one thing I didn't mention during our WrestleMania review that I wanted to get out of the way is how fucking awesome is Samantha Irvin?
Bruce Buffer put out a tweet about how
Not
great.
Bruce, not Bruce,
I thought,
Michael,
oh, sorry, Michael Buffer.
the better of the two.
Okay, basically just said how great she is at her job at
When
announcing.
Cody won last night,
Yeah,
she was literally crying as she was announcing it.
well, that story hit a
And
lot of people.
and the way she even got excited and choked up when Priest was cashing in.
Yeah,
The emotion in her voice when Sami Zayn beat Gunther.
mm.
You know, we're so used to these ring announcers being robots, and Samantha brings emotion and passion and
Makes it more human.
absolutely. And it's like you can tell, like, for once, it's like, okay, yeah, we all do work for the same company. Like these are still friends of hers
Yeah,
or whatever. And
she's marrying or dating Ricochet, one or the other. So
I think they're engaged, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, which I mean, they're not Ricochet.
I mean, he went from Katana Chance, that flexible girl, to her.
I mean, listen, you don't even want to know the type of bag that fucking Tyler Bates fumbled. All right.
I'm sure he has. Uh, so Raw opens up, kind of like how WrestleMania Night One opened up. Triple H came on down,
Mhm.
and according to Triple H into the numbers into the box office, first off, there was the 17th straight Raw sellout crowd,
Yep.
and the largest gate in Raw history.
Yep.
And apparently, according to the numbers, this was the biggest and greatest WrestleMania of all time, according to the numbers.
And honestly, like they can justify constantly raising prices at this point.
Yeah,
So,
uh, yeah, it was. It's hard to argue how great this WrestleMania was.
mhm.
I know I had a really good time with it. I know you had a good time with it. From what I understand, a lot of people had a good time, a lot of fun with it. So it was really good. Uh, Cody then came out to a huge reaction, easily the most over guy in the entire company,
Oh yeah.
not named Roman Reigns.
I would still think he's like on that Reigns level.
Yeah. Uh,
I thought for at least the last 2 years, like nobody could get the reactions that Roman Reigns gets.
no,
And then Cody caught fire.
yeah. Now, uh, basically, Triple H came out, wanted to congratulate him again, and they did a whole nice video tribute that was made up by guys in Connecticut. Really nice touching tribute. Shot um, his old stuff, the way how he looked. Now then they showed him how he left. Never mentioned AEW for obvious reasons, and how he came back.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very touching. And Cody basically ended his whole promo with, well, started off as the way he always starts it off with. What do you want to talk about? And then ended off with the same thing he said 2 years ago when he first came back on the Monday Night Raw. No longer from dashing to to undesirable to now undeniable to champion.
Yeah.
Which prompted The Rock to come out. A very long segment after this.
And then shit got awkward.
It did. It got really weird. The Rock wanted to hold the title.
Oh, before that, it was like a
Yeah.
good 5 to 10 minutes. The crowd would not let Rock speak.
Yeah. Well, they feel that The Rock was taken away from Cody's stuff, right? This just shows how much of a good heel right now The Rock truly is being, if he's becoming that annoying to the point where people don't want him around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, The Rock did mention he's going to leave us for a while, but he did also open it up to the fact that there is going to be a title shot somewhere down the line between The Rock and Cody.
Well, actually, he said that regardless if he's still champion or not, he's coming back for Cody Rhodes.
This story, we mentioned last night how one story ended and another story begins.
Yep.
This story between The Rock is just beginning. The one with Roman Reigns
Is over.
is that it was over.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned it's probably off air before we started doing this a while back, about an hour ago, that this feud between The Rock and Cody is very reminiscent of the Austin versus McMahon.
Yep.
But the roles this time are reversed. Cody is playing the role of Stone Cold,
Mm-hmm.
and The Rock is playing the role of Vince McMahon.
Right.
Very different versions, though. Very different ways of how they're approaching it. Very fresh, very new. Because I feel with this one here, you're not going to see Vince McMahon like you saw every week, right? And Oscar got to fight Stu with
You will never see Vince McMahon
That's
even
not
mentioned again.
no. I'm just mentioning
That was the whole point of this weekend, to be honest.
No, it is. I'm just mentioning because it's very similar to the whole thing.
Like they're moving away from sports entertainment. Nick Khan came out and said that they're going to look at working with other companies, much like they did with TNA to get Jordan Grace into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is really big for WWE. And to be honest with you, it's about bloody time.
I agree.
It's been long enough.
I agree.
This whole thing for the years has been
The monopoly.
WWE, well, monopoly, and WWE doesn't play well with others. Well, guess what? The new regime now is more open to it. If you think about it, you think about the past, some of the biggest stars, mind you, they were in NXT, were from other companies,
Yeah, of course.
right? Guys like Cole, Strong, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura. They just came to the main roster and kind of fumbled them. I mean, Cole never came to the main roster, but they kind of fumbled them. But that was under the guy who shall not be named anymore. But this time now is a new era. We're going to see, I think, a lot more. Wouldn't rule out the possibility. I don't think they'll ever work in New Japan because AEW kind of has that territory right now.
As long as AEW has the working agreement with New Japan, I don't think so. But I do think you'll possibly see Noah or All Japan work with WWE. Like I know, like with Noah, right? WWE has sent over Shinsuke Nakamura last year for the Muda retirement tour.
Yep.
The Great Muda retirement tour. And they also sent over Charlie Dempsey earlier this year.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I wouldn't mind if like maybe I think Marufuji's still over there. I'm gonna fact check myself while we're talking, but I think the biggest takeaway is at the end of this where The Rock hands him something.
Oh, you didn't look too pleased with it.
He handed him something and said, "I don't even have to tell you what this is, and you know what it is." And then don't break my heart again.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's referring to, but we'll find out in a couple of months.
I'm sure we'll find out down the line.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. So which led to our first match. Shinsuke Nakamura came out to a nice ovation. And then our first surprise. The NXT World Champion.
Ilya Dragunov.
Uh,
And you know what? He beat Shinsuke clean as a whistle.
with that
Torpedo Moscow.
Torpedo Moscow. Look, Dragonov is a hell of a wrestler. If anybody seen any of his stuff in the UK, it's fantastic.
Give me Gunther and Ilya Dragunov on the main roster, please.
That will happen probably a lot. Which also brings us to another thing too. They have mentioned also as well the draft is coming back.
And they mentioned they teased that even main roster guys could go to NXT.
Yes, they did. They had the Rock's general manager Ava, or his daughter. Mentioned that anybody from the main roster may go down to NXT as well. So it seems to be that it's good. They're going to make NXT more of a third brand again to what it was a couple of years ago. So
when it was like a super indie,
yeah, that's kind of what it looks like they're going to start doing again, which is great. It's still developmental. It's just more thing. I mean, FCW was developmental too, but it was a completely separate entity of WWE. Whereas now the NXT is going to be developmental, but it's going to be more conjoined with WWE, especially if they're so. Okay.
Well, so the thing is like if you look at NXT pre the USA deal in 2019, yeah, it was a super indie. And you had anyone and everyone who was any type of name from all over the world.
Disputed Era is a great example.
Went through NXT at one point. I mean, just some cameos that I can think of. James Storm. The American Wolves. Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards.
Alex Shelley was there for an appearance.
Alex Shelley made an appearance. And then again, you can think of pretty much any big name that has been. Kushida was there, I think, at one point.
Kushida was there for a couple of years. Samoa Joe was there.
Kenta
was there.
Kenta was there.
I
mean, there was Finn was there.
The Undisputed Era alone.
Right.
Like you can't even deny what that is there. Like it's.
And then when you think of NXT, there's only a good handful of like actual homegrown stars that they've made.
Yeah.
Roman, Bray, I would say Carmelo Hayes at this point.
You almost say even
Braun Breaker.
Johnny Gargano a little bit.
Braun Breaker. No, Johnny Gargano was big on the indies. But he was more in like CZW and shit. Like the really obscure indies. He wasn't like on a Ring of Honor or anything. No. A couple times he was. Like he was like semi-regular on Ring of Honor. But yeah, it's like, you know, and then they got the TV deal. And again, they have to try to bring in ratings. And when they did the whole 2.0 launch, where they basically just focused solely on new stars.
Development.
Right? And again, you've got guys like Braun Breaker that came out of that.
Yeah.
But I think the NXT 2.0 roster, and you look at it now.
Look what Baron Corbin's done too. It could be like going back down there.
Baron Corbin, look at what the run Dolph Ziggler had down there.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago.
Mandy Rose, before she got let go for some questionable pictures that weren't really questionable at all.
Not even questionable pictures. It's the fact she basically had
But that was a different regime.
A not
Right?
OnlyFans.
That's a different regime.
Yeah, a
Now it's way different now. But yeah, like look at sex. Look. My point is though, look at the success she had. You can argue she had better run in WWE on NXT than she ever did on the main roster.
100%.
Right. So it's you had Priest down there, Rhea Ripley in there. It's a good thing. Speaking of Damon Priest, after that match with Dragonov and Shinsuke, the new, well, Judgment Day came out, and they announced first they brought out Mami, how she defended her title, and then the new world champion came out,
Damian Priest, man. And
looking good in that red.
you know what? The crowd was chanting he deserves it, and he's like, "You damn right I deserve it."
Yeah,
And good for him. I
yeah,
mean, I talked about it in our WrestleMania review, just watching that dude evolve
yeah,
over the years and to see where he is now. I mean, hats off.
yeah. So that led to them showing off the titles, and then nowhere, R-Truth comes out and starts showing his talent, how he just brought the title back to the Judgment Day, and they weren't having any of it, which led to the Miz
A,
coming out.
a 6-man tag match with Miz, R-Truth, and a man we couldn't see
See,
versus Finn, JD, and Dom.
yeah. Uh, Overall, decent match for what it was. The man who couldn't see though
Was John Cena.
was John Cena. Came in for a nice big pop. They basically did a whole
Mid-match
run-in.
run in,
Yeah,
hot tag,
yeah.
5 moves of doom. See you later, Judgment Day.
Yep. It was all good fun. I had a good
Yep.
time with it. It was nice seeing John.
Speaking of John Cena, this is the perfect time to talk about this.
Sure.
He was on Pat McAfee's show today.
Yes.
I was talking to you this. I was talking to you this off recording.
Mhm.
He said that basically his schedule for Hollywood is basically tied up till Christmas.
Mhm.
He hopes that Hollywood pumps the brakes a little bit on him
Mhm.
so that he can have one last run. He said there's about 1,000 days left until he's 50, but he doesn't think he's going to last till 50 in the ring. So I really think that next Mania season, we're going to see the John Cena retirement tour.
I'll be okay with that.
I book it right, and you could have the biggest send off ever.
Yeah, it depends on. We've talked about off air who we might think might be the one who does retire him. We both mentioned. I know I mentioned Gunther, possibly Cody. It really all depends on where they want to go with it. To be honest, it really all depends.
Wild thought. Wild thought. Let's say Cody holds the title to like Royal Rumble.
Okay.
And Randy Orton wins the title. I don't know. You can come up with some reason for Randy Orton to have a title shot.
Well, that's
and
a
then
feud I think I think a couple of us have thought about already. So
and then John Cena is entrant number 30 or 29 or whatever. You don't want to inflate the numbers of the Royal Rumble by any means.
no.
But he comes in and he wins the Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
which would make him only the second 3-time winner. Which, for the fact it's John Cena, I'm not complaining about that accolade.
I think 3 is the highest of the farthest they'll ever go. They already had Cody go back to back the first time since Austin. Why not have John win the third time? Just tie Austin for that.
Right. And he talks about how, time's winding down.
Yep.
And, let's say Gunther's the world champ at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really think that he's getting the world title at Bash in Berlin in September.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then again, like there's your reason to have one last Randy Orton John Cena match, which is a match they both want, by the way.
Yep.
Randy Orton has said his last dream match is to get John one more time because they never did it one-on-one at WrestleMania.
Is a rivalry that has gone on. It's probably the longest serving rivalry in WWE right now. John versus Randy. It's been going for a very long time.
20 years.
It's a rivalry that's a rivalry of a rivalry. It's like the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's a constant rivalry. Okay.
And you know what? You're looking at like basically, I guess for this generation, you're looking at, you know, Aaron Judge versus fucking, I don't know, who's the best, Rafael Devers. I don't know. I had to think of the best player in the Red Sox for a minute.
Well, right now it's Devers.
Yeah, yeah. But you're basically looking at Rafael Devers versus Aaron Judge.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's a robbery. So those guys doing that one more time.
Or if we want to get Canadian about it, it's Austin Matthews versus Nick Suzuki. I don't even know if he's the best player on the Habs, but
you could have went Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield. There you go.
I mean, if you really want to do it too, you can go. You know, you can
Dak
go
Prescott versus Jalen Hurts.
Sure. Or you know what? Patrick Mahomes versus Justin Herbert. If you want to get real crazy. There.
Oh, what? Okay.
I
Listen, Randy
I'm
Orton
just saying.
Randy Orton is Justin Herbert. I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Anyway, moving forward. After the Judgment Day match is over, Mommy's in the back talking to Dom. They're walking through the hallway, and out of nowhere, Liv attacks Rhea Ripley. Now, I said this a while back that
I told you on this podcast a month ago that Liv was going to be the challenger next.
I said it even before that.
There you go.
So,
well, you wanted Liv to be in like.
Well, I thought they might throw her into it too, because the way they were going a few weeks ago, it almost seemed that's what their plan was to throw Liv in there.
I thought post Chamber. I like after Becky had won, I knew Liv was next in line.
Yeah,
and that pretty much sums it up.
Mm-hmm. So Liv attacks Rhea, leaves Rhea laying hurt. So it looks like we're gonna get this thing going here. She might be the next one. She might be the one that dethrones Rhea, but we'll find out later on down the line.
And you need something big for that backlash show in France.
Liv versus her would be great.
Yep.
But you're probably also gonna have Cody in that show too. So
that's
anyway, after that, we get Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae in the ring. Indy Hartwell's in a match. And another surprise. The newly crowned NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez shows up.
Nice.
And has a match against Indy Hartwell, which is a continuation of the story that was in NXT about a year ago. When Indy Hartwell won the ladder match and won the title.
Yeah, but didn't she like tear her ACL or something in the match?
She ended up having to vacate the title about a week later because of she tore her ACL.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Roxanne Perez was in that.
And that was the last time anyone saw Dexter Lumis.
Yeah. And Indy Hartwell is also.
Where the fuck is Dexter Lumis?
Nobody knows. But that was actually there was a start of Roxanne's kind of heel turn.
Yep.
So that's kind of a continuing storyline. We talked about this on the WrestleMania review, with the whole 10-year storyline with the Shield. This continuation storyline, long-term booking.
That's totally cool with me, man.
So it was really cool. Roxanne won. At the end, Roxanne's walking through the back, all proud of herself. She beat Indy Hartwell, and Natalya showed up. And Natalya.
Let me guess. Natalya is challenging her on NXT for the NXT Women's Championship.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's almost like.
I go on a quick sidebar here.
Is it about Natalia and how much she's annoying?
No, it's about how much I appreciate long-term storytelling.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice when they have this stuff.
Because as a longtime viewer, and if I had to actually,
Long time viewer, first time caller.
yeah, if I had to actually um, put it into a number,
Mm-hmm.
I've probably been watching wrestling for about 27 years. And yeah, and I like how these little things, these callbacks that weave into current stories, it rewards you for paying attention. And it rewards those longtime viewers.
It's very reminiscent of what Roman Reigns said at the press conference.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania Night 1. It's long-term storytelling, right? Pay attention because every week we're doing something new, right? It's all part of the story. Keep bringing it back. Pay attention to what's going on because what's going on is you're going to see down the line, maybe a month later, 2 months later, this might come back. So it's
Exactly.
very interesting, right? Roman Reigns was very much right. And it shows a lot how it really shows the change that has been made. It's already been seen this WrestleMania. Actually, it's ever since Mr. Levesque, Paul Levesque, Triple H, Trips, whatever you want to call him, when he took over for creative, all the things that he's done.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's a better product. And not to be addicted, people who are CM Punk fans out there listening, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. But CM Punk was wrong when he said it would be a crapshoot if Triple H ever took over. And he was dead wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think the biggest benefit of having Oliveck in charge is he's been there since 1995. He's been with WWE since 1995. So all of these callbacks that they're doing, especially with the Shield stuff I was talking about on the WrestleMania review,
Yes.
Triple H was directly involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins was Plan B
Mm-hmm.
for Triple H.
Yeah.
And so now that he has the book, as they say, you know, he's got all of this at his disposal. That this rich history with current stars, you can just weave in through current stories.
Mm-hmm.
Cody was still there
Well,
when the Shield broke up.
they had a match with the Shield.
He had several matches with the Shield,
Exactly.
you know, and which is why that's going to make that Randy Orton feud fucking hit like crack.
Oh, it's going to be good with that because that's a feud that is going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
It's going to hit you like a fucking doobie on a Saturday night.
Oh yeah, and you know Orton's going to go full heel on this one for sure, like full heel.
Yeah.
I probably like he's just going to go full out heel.
Or you know what? You could still keep Orton babyface in this scenario.
You could absolutely. You don't really
where
need to
it's
do it,
like where it's like, okay, say Cody takes out The Rock. Okay.
yeah.
Or okay, if you want to use my Royal Rumble example to fucking bring Cena into all this. All right. Orton wins some sort of number one contenders match.
Yeah.
And he can come out and just like he doesn't even have to be a heel. He'll be like, look, you were under my wing 15 years ago.
Yep.
Now it's time for me to see if the student can beat the master.
Or kind of like an you owe me for the things I did for you 15 years ago kind of thing.
Not even. I mean, Orton could pull that, but that's kind of a
He could.
heel move. That's kind of a heel move when you think about it.
I think Orton goes full heel on this, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But
Absolutely.
I think you have like Orton is one of the have to
Oh, for sure.
feuds with Cody and the title.
Oh, absolutely. After that, so we got Sami Zayn came down. He came down, cut a nice promo. Uh, Interrupted by Imperium without Gunther. Gunther was not there, nor his sight. I guess he's probably taking time away for a little bit. I mean, 666-day reign as the Intercontinental Champion kind of deserves a little bit of a break.
The number of the beast, as Iron Maiden once said.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, Chad Gable came out.
Yeah.
That set up an Intercontinental title match in Montreal next week.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn's hometown.
But before that, we get to a tag match with those two against the Imperium.
Yeah.
Gable and Sami Zayn won. It was a good match. I think in Montreal, I think Zayn wins.
Yeah.
But I don't think he leaves on his own power, though. I think Gable wins. I think Gable not wins, but beats him up.
I think Gable turns full heel next week.
Yeah, that's kind of what
I think
I'm getting at.
I think Zayn catches him with like an inside cradle or something.
Yeah.
And fucking Chad, who's sick of failure, just fucking snaps.
Yep.
And as for Imperium,
Mm-hmm.
how long do you think it is before Gunther just sheds Imperium? I'll put it to you like this. Is Imperium in his corner when he goes for the world title in Berlin?
I don't think Imperium is necessarily there. I think Imperium will always be a part of Gunther.
Okay.
But if you look at too, like even a lot of his matches, even in when he had that long title reign, Imperium never really got involved in the actual matches.
That's true.
So I think Imperium.
That's one of the great. That's one of the like auras of Gunther.
Yeah, I
Part
think
of his aura is he's a bad enough dude that he can just do it himself.
yeah, he doesn't need to have anybody there. So I think Imperium will always be a part of Gunther. So I don't
Okay,
think that
fair enough.
anything around. I think Imperium is almost like a second rate bloodline, but like
Do you ever
a
see a
different version
scenario?
of it.
Do you ever see a scenario where people are so thrilled with Gunther's in-ring work where he starts turning babyface? Not even like on purpose, but just the fact like he goes out and just puts on literally instant classics almost every time he's in
I
the
think
ring.
if anything, Gunther's gonna be that in between the babyface heel.
Queen of roll. Gotcha.
Very similar to what a few people are kind of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rome, like okay, let's be honest here. The bloodline was considered a heel group. But there's a lot of times though where they towed that face
Babyface,
heel
yeah.
line.
Especially when Sammy was in the group.
Yeah, they towed that line, you know. So it's one of those, and to be honest with you, it's very much to what a lot some of the most popular characters in the history of WWE or in wrestling in general are total line between heel and face. Undertaker,
Yep.
Austin,
Austin's probably
especially in the early going, because Austin was never meant to be a face.
no, Austin was a full blown heel.
It was even when he had Austin 316, he was still like Brett had to go heel in that feud.
Well, that was the double turn, right?
Yeah.
Like
Like
Austin, when he started as Stone Cold and he did the King of the Ring, and even when he cut the Austin 316 promo.
that was a heel promo.
Yeah. And that's the thing, okay? And I've said this to you before. I don't know if I've said it on recording. I'm tired of the revisionist history that WWE like leads you to believe. Austin won the King of the Ring, but he was not like a mega over fucking superstar overnight.
No, I remember that because I'm
That
old.
didn't happen until Survivor Series.
No, like Austin, when Austin pulled that promo, right, at the time, Jake Roberts was a born again Christian, cleared of
Yeah, yeah,
alcohol,
yeah.
all these things.
We all know the
Yeah, we all that
context.
story, right? So that was a heel promo. You
Hmm.
thump your Bible, you talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whooped your ass.
There you go.
It's literally a heel promo.
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying like it's not like that happened and then he's immediately a megastar.
No. I
No.
mean, you had people out there all of a sudden with the Austin 316 shirts because it was a really cool catchphrase. But he never I don't know if he ever really like he was face at one point.
Late 96, he takes on Brett at Survivor Series and loses.
The I Quit
Okay.
match where he passes out with Ken
No,
Shamrock.
no. They had a regular match
Oh, sorry.
at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And the finish was that and you were talking about Rock Austin WrestleMania
Mm,
17. They
yeah.
actually referenced the spot. Okay. Austin had Brett in the $1 Million Dream, and Brett kicked off the turnbuckle and pinned Austin.
Mm.
Okay. Brett goes away to film that fucking soap opera he was on.
Lonesome Dove.
There you go. Um, there you go. But
It was
um,
on CBC for a long time.
and then anyways, like, and Austin really didn't pick up momentum. He he cheated to win the Royal Rumble, and he still didn't like. He still wasn't the guy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until that submission match when they completed the double turn that
Yeah.
Austin was the guy,
Yeah.
but so yeah, enough with this revisionist history, WWE.
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
like there's a good like 8-9 month stretch between the Austin 316 promo in June of 96 and Austin actually becoming a top star in March of 97.
I think with the new era, you're gonna see less and less of that stuff. So, but time will tell. After that, Jade Cargill made her Raw debut, but she's on SmackDown. Yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend. So, or WrestleMania week. Against Chelsea Green, basic squash match. The girl looks like a star. Okay, this girl is going to be the women's champion at some point. Who she takes the title off of is the question.
Don't think it's Bailey.
You don't think it's Bailey?
Too soon.
No, I don't think it's anytime soon. I just think it's she will be the champion at some point. It's just not right now.
I still don't think. I think that next year you use WrestleMania as the launching point for Jade Cargill.
Yeah, she needs a single match.
You give her the next year. Just work on her shit.
Yep.
You know, build a couple feuds. Cool. She's gonna be this unbeatable powerhouse. Throw her back in the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
and have her win it. And then she faces whoever the champion is.
Absolutely.
Leading into next Mania. That's how I would handle Jade Cargill.
Fair enough.
When you have that much raw potential with somebody like a Jade Cargill, when you have that much raw potential, that's the formula you use.
Very true.
Build them up over a year, have them get really hot come the Royal Rumble, and they just fucking dominate the Royal Rumble. And then they go on and win the championship.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. There was a promo for Sheamus.
Yep.
He's on his way back. Good for him.
Don't know how long he's going to be back though for.
Why?
I just feel the injuries with him keep on piling up, and just at least that's what it feels like.
I feel like this could be like his last run.
Yeah, I think so too.
I
maybe
I honestly think if he gets hurt again, he may call it a career.
yeah, because he was out for a while with this one.
Was it his neck this time?
What was that?
Was it his neck this time?
Might have been. Next one. Drew came out. They started doing the fatal four-way match. Drew comes out first, the fatal four-way, and cuts a scathing, unhinged Drew McIntyre promo.
I'm all the way here for it.
Just absolutely going off. Complimented Seth Rollins first, though, saying how great he was and respectful all him, but then turned his attention to Jamie Priest or Bondage Undertaker. And just rips on Damian Priest and how he got screwed on the cash in twice, and how he's just if feels he wants to whip Damian Priest with a whip, but he might like it. And,
Oh my god!
And basically just goes off on Damian Priest and how he's going to take that title and beat the living hell out of Damian Priest
Before turning his attention to CM Punk.
Before turning his attention to CM Punk. Before he can really fully turn his attention to CM Punk, Jey Uso music hits and comes out, which basically cuts that down. Jey comes out, Bronson Reed then comes out, and then the Ricochet comes out. Really good fatal four-way match, a lot of stuff. Ricochet going ape shit with a 450 onto a table.
A springboard 450.
450 onto a table.
Through the announce table.
Yeah.
To Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
And the finish of the match, Drew was about to hit the Claymore on Jey, but CM Punk was under the ring and grabbed his foot, which stopped him enough for Jey to hit a spear on Ricochet, I think.
Yeah.
Or Drew, I don't know. But Jey pinned somebody.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was.
But Jey Uso is going to be the first man to face Damian Priest, which is probably going to happen at Backlash.
Nothing wrong with that. This Punk stuff with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is going to keep on going. It's going to be this way until they get a match somewhere down the line. And yeah, that's going to be Punk's first match back after he's
I hope it's in Toronto. Now, full disclosure, which I love using that word. Full disclosure here. Tickets for single event tickets for Money in the Bank weekend in Toronto is this Friday, April 12th.
Yeah.
And I am going to get me and Andrew tickets.
Yeah.
And we are going to go to Money in the Bank. We've done the Raw, we've done the SmackDown,
we've never done SmackDown.
We haven't done SmackDown, but
I might try to get SmackDown tickets. I would take a look.
Just the thing is, when it comes to weekends like this, like I am a father of three, and
I am not a father of three.
That comes with a lot of chaos, and to take 2 nights, especially in a time where I'm looking to move, might not be, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, there's no guarantee I'm going to buy SmackDown tickets. So
Definitely Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Rumor has it too, folks, that there, if you are here in Toronto, Canada, rumor has it that WrestleMania, not next year, but the years after, is in Toronto. So that is the rumor currently. Now, nothing has been confirmed from what I can gather, but the rumor is right now.
And it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because they got to add like 20,000 seats to BMO Field.
If they want to do the BMO, why don't they just do the Dome?
Because apparently they've reduced capacity at the Dome with the new renovations.
Oh.
It used to be 50,000. Now it's down to like 40 with the new renovations.
BMO? I don't know about that.
Well, and the only reason I say that is because the World Cup.
Oh, that's right.
The World Cup is coming that summer. That's why I thought about that. But
Who knows? That's still a long way away.
did they not announce where the next WrestleMania is going to
You know
be?
what? I don't remember seeing a promo for it at all. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember seeing a promo for it at all.
I'm gonna do a quick check here, just
Wow.
while we're recording.
That was pretty much the Raw. That was the Raw After Mania review, everybody. Nothing, not like it hasn't been one like the typical ones we've seen in the past. After the past couple of years have not been the most greatest. Too. It was a good Raw though. We got it's more or less like to introduce who the new champions were, what they will be doing kind of going forward. And that's pretty much what the new Raw was. It was kind of very much just a straightforward Raw. Nothing too insane, no real debuts. Because I feel now they're just going to start like just debut people over time, no matter what. It also was the first one without. Well, SmackDown should be very interesting. Actually, the Raw after SmackDown, after WrestleMania the SmackDown after WrestleMania should be interesting because that one there will be the first one without the Tribal Chief as a champion. So I'd be interested to see what goes on with that
It'll
and
be
how. And Cody will be on that one as well.
So WrestleMania 41 has not been announced yet,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because usually they announce it like
A year in advance. Yeah, it's usually announced a year in advance. I've heard rumors of Vegas for that. So
I've heard rumors of Vegas for that as well, but Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I've heard Minneapolis too.
Yeah. I think it's up to Minneapolis and Vegas.
Well,
for next year. And
do Minneapolis. I like to see
WrestleMania.
I like to see WrestleMania in that new stadium with the Vikings. I'd like to see that.
I also heard that the year after the rumored Toronto one is they're going to try and do one in London, England.
That'd be cool.
At Wembley. It would have to be at Wembley Stadium.
Oh, encroaching on
AEW territory.
Well, in all fairness, WWE had it first.
Yeah, but the statute of limitations expired on that, man.
Very true.
They did a show at Wembley in 1992.
Yeah, I know.
And there wasn't any other wrestling event to happen there until last year.
It's true.
31 years later.
Very true. Anyway, that is the Raw After Mania review. Doug, any closing comments for everybody here?
Nah, man, kind of run of the mill, set some stuff up. You know, I mean, I think the opening segment went about 15 minutes too long, but I mean, when you were going to get the first hour commercial free, you knew that a big chunk of time was going to be allotted to Cody and whatever the fallout was from WrestleMania, from the main event.
I'll be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from that fallout. And I'll be honest, a part of me, the back of my brain was like, is it possible that MJF, that was wrong, that MJF did sign with WWE and he was going to come out now?
I don't know. I mean, Cody was on Pat McAfee as well, and he shouted out MJF while he was there. I don't know. MJF is an enigma, dude.
I think MJF in WWE now with Triple H in charge, considering the fact that they're willing to go to Netflix soon, I think MJF would succeed very well. When Vince was there, I questioned it for sure.
6 months ago, I would have considered MJF going to WWE, but they really treated him like Mr. AEW from All In until World's End.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point of Kenny Omega endorsing him 2 weeks before World's End.
Mm-hmm.
This is the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think MJF's coming back to AEW. I just don't think it's happening till the summer or even the fall. I mean,
I said it like that. He re-signed a while back, right? So,
of course,
I think it's been done already. But part of me thought there goes, is it possible he went to WWE? but
Yeah.
we'll see. Take us home, Doug.
On that
This guy's got to go to bed. He's been up since 4:30, bud.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Encroaching on 24 hours,
Shut
20
up.
hours.
Shut up.
On that note, thank you for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you for your support. I mean, I'm excited to do this multiple times a week with my friend Andrew. Go follow us on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, as long as it's still around, and Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. We're over there as well. Though I've never met anyone that uses iHeartRadio.
I don't use that garbage.
Socials, DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on X. He is April 1982 on Instagram. Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I'm D Lines 1991 on X, and we'll catch you down the road.
Yabba dabba doo. Have a good one, everybody.